Welcome to another episode of Hello Africa, brought to you by Black Drum TV. My name is Favor Aya, but I like to be called Favorite. Of course, you can join into this show via the link in the description. With me on the show, of course, is BC Belumi. How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
You're putting up a very interesting smile this morning. I'm forced to ask you, did you wake up on the right side of your bed?
I did. I woke up on the right side of the bed.
Okay. Did
to
you
the right amount? To the right text.
To the right text.
To the right text.
Well, welcome to today's episode. Of course, we promise you an amazing show. We have a good lineup of stories. We also have an interesting topic, as well as our entertainment and Big Brother update. Yeah, and of course, an interesting sport news as well.
Yeah.
Like I said earlier, you could join us via the link in the description. Drop your comments, as we'll treat as important as we usually do. And today happens to be a Monday, a wet Monday right here in Lagos City. Wherever you are across the world, I hope the weather condition is good for you. So we'll move straight to our top stories. Our first one says, Basic, help me, please.
All right, ZAMFARA states, this one says, we are no longer interested in dialogue with kidnappers Matawalle. I hope I pronounced that properly. Matawalle.
Yeah, well, you need to be from the north to understand pronunciation.
My question is, why is there a dialogue with kidnappers?
Do you understand?
Why are you guys having a conversation?
If this was instigated initially, why would you be calling it off now? So you should have thought properly, because at this point, if you're cancelling every dialogue you probably said you were going to instigate, you're forcing them to go back to whatever violence and all that. Exactly. So except you are bringing something to them, because if it was for cases of militancy and all of that, there were amnesty programs or amnesty
of course, Nigeria dashes out amnesty anyhow.
Exactly. So if you're not going on amnesty with them and you're calling off the dialogues you initially said you were going to be having with them,
it's going to be a risky move.
Probably you just want them to take out their victims and all that. I don't understand. But then, of course, I'll just read through. Oh, no, there's no need reading through. I mean, this is already a very...
We are no longer interested in the dialogue. It's like you're cutting off the dialogue midway.
Yeah.
All right, if you start something, you have to finish it.
Then just finish it.
There's no point going halfway and then causing a lot of problematic...
Well, our second story says, curfew violation, soldiers allegedly beat taxi driver to death in Jos. This is a very sad story. At this point, I'm forced to ask the question, why do our security personnel not understand the relationship between themselves and the civilians? Because during the NSAS protests, we had situations like this where we had to deal with police brutality and all of that. But then if someone violated any certain curfew or whatever, the attack shouldn't be beaten up or...
Yeah, there should not even be an attack. It should just be a detention. I mean, you just detain the person.
Probe the person or take the person
take down the person's statements, why the person was moving around that curfew. Of course. Probably even do a security search his taxi, his boots. Did they find human parts in his car?
At what point exactly? Was he
found human parts in his car or he was armed? It should not be to the point of death.
Yeah. So why beat up somebody to death? And of course, we do hope that the security authorities are able to pay very keen attention to this and should be able to call this man to justice for these actions, and this shouldn't just slide through. Of course, moving on, this one says, Edo police rescue 5 kidnapped victims, arrest 2 suspects.
I'm guessing these are the 2 suspects on the on the screen.
Yeah, looking very troubled and
very young.
Now, the thing with this, the cases of kidnap have grown way too outrageously.
In
because
Nigeria,
in country, because I mean, these persons were kidnapped. I heard they were carrying a curfew across from through the north. And they were carrying a corpse. Sorry,
a corpse. Okay.
Yes, across this southwest road exactly, and of course somehow they ran into these kidnappers who took them into a certain forest named, I've forgotten the name, but I mean...
But look how young they are.
Do you understand? So it's like every person can just take certain on these actions now because they've seen how sad and how bad the security of the country is at now, the status of our security is. And I feel like it's a very disturbing situation because these people can just, I mean, they found them in a forest after the police force had carried out a combing around this vicinity, and then they realized these guys were there.
Well, kudos to the police force.
Kudos to what?
If
they were actually carrying out their proper security measures along that express, I don't think things like this would continue to happen. The numbers are just increasing. There are kidnap cases overly increasing now. So
yeah,
I don't
that's
understand.
a very solid point.
So if you're saying kudos to them, you're saying they did well to allow the kidnap. What if they didn't find these people? Oh, wow. Okay.
Wow.
Speechless. Okay. Yeah, I figured. All right, you can join us via the link, of course, in the description and be a part of our discussion this morning. BC, what's our next story?
Okay, this one is also a sad one. I wish you'd asked me to read this.
Okay.
Auchi police students commit suicide, leaves note for girlfriend.
Whoa. Oh, yeah.
And I was going to ask, why didn't he leave notes for his parents, family members?
Probably.
Relatives?
People, when things like this happen, they are reaching out to the most important people in their life. Apparently, those were the persons that mattered to him.
Yeah. You know, it's going to be, you know what, never mind. I'm going
but
to
reading through the story, they never stated why the action was
suicide.
taken. They said he just left class and went home, and then the next time they saw him, he was hung up, looking, lifeless. I mean, but this is really sad.
Really sad.
I just hope his parents and his family and his loved ones receive comfort. This one says Libya celebrates 22nd anniversary of Shahat Culture House. Well, we do not have proper details and information on this story, so we're just going to move on. Okay, let's just take a break, of course. When we get back, we'll move on to other top stories. Don't leave your screens. We'll be right back. It's still Hello Africa, brought to you by Black Drum TV. Just in case you're joining us right now, you can be a part of our conversation via the link in the description. With me in the studio today is BC Melumi.
Hello everyone, thank you for joining us and welcome back from that short break. So moving on to our next top story.
Yeah.
US drones to monitor terrorists in Africa, including Libya. Okay, so they basically, there's a U.S. airbase in Tunisia where unarmed and unmanned drones are going to be launched into the air, of course, to take reconnaissance mission of terror-ridden northern parts of Africa, specifically the city of Sirte, I hope I pronounced that properly, in Libya. Yeah. Remember in our last episode, we spoke about Libya having a transitional government. Excuse me, a transitional government to transition power from the Islamic reading to democracy. Right? Yeah. And I think that it said that was going to happen in December 24th. So, of course, some Islamic extremists, of course, are making their presence known. So, United States and Tunisia, of course, under Tunisia government's approval, are launching, their unmanned drones. Of course, they did mention the drones are unarmed, but they can be armed, just in case,
No, they are unarmed. If they give that information, let's just act.
No, that's what they said. They are unarmed and they can be armed. That's what.
Yeah, so they could
That's what
be
the
armed.
US stated. So in case situation calls for it, they can arm up the drones with sophisticated missiles.
Could these drones fly and extend to Africa?
To Nigeria,
Nigeria.
To Nigerian part.
Because
we should be able to.
We need.
But the US doesn't trust our government. Remember one of the stories we covered in one of our episodes where we spoke about how they denied sales of some military-grade helicopters to Nigeria, and Joe Biden saying he wants to review his relationship with Nigeria.
Yes, exactly.
So for now,
I agree with you.
All right, so Phil, help us with the next.
This one says refugees from Afghanistan begin to arrive in Edmonton and Calgary.
Both Edmonton and Calgary are, cities in Alberta, in Canada to be specific. 80 of them in Alberta, 60 in Calgary, and 20 of them in Edmonton. And they're expecting like 5,000 more refugees to come in.
That's quite impressive.
That's quite impressive. Kudos to Canada.
But then, of course, you said something earlier about them not having a proper welcome party for them because of situation.
They threw a sort of welcome parade for Syrian refugees. Last time they had refugees from Syria. But given the fact that the refugees from Afghanistan are not really, it's a mixed feelings of happiness and sadness. So they're happy that they left Afghanistan, of course, but they're sad that they left loved ones behind that they could not carry along. Do you understand? So they can't really throw a sort of welcome parade given the circumstances of why they left. They're immigrating to Canada.
Okay, our next story, Canada elections. Activists frustrated over party leaders dodging racism issue.
Now, for me, this story came as I won't say as a shock, but like, I mean, Canadians are like one of the nicest people.
Really? Are you sure?
I am certain. It's a fact. It's a known fact.
No, don't say it's a known fact. Speak based on...
If I didn't see it as a known fact, I won't say it's a known fact.
Okay, all right, okay. Okay, BC now says this is a known fact. We agree with you.
All right, now, but what's surprising now is, see the number of refugees they are bringing in to their country. We just finished the top story that says they are expected to receive 5,000 refugees from Afghanistan. Now, if they're having racism issues, I do not think receiving refugees is a smart thing to do, regardless of if they have the land space and the economical stability status, to to carry out that sort of action. However, let me just read some of the important facts. The NDP's platform, that's a party in one of the Canadian elections, included a pledge to confront racism and to ban carding, while the Liberals stated further support of an action to plan to fight systemic racism, while the Green Party was noted to having the only platform that had specific promises to reduce the size of police organizations like the RCMP. Now, the reason why I don't reduce police organizations is because aside from the racism, there's also issues about police brutality. The Conservatives, however, did not include any promises to tackle systemic or anti-black racism in their platform, with the party's leader even pledging to hire more police officers in face of calls from advocates to defund and reform police organizations across the country. So advocates are saying reform the police organizations, defund some of them, let them be restructured, let them be reformed. But the Conservatives party leader are saying that, you know what, their own agenda is they're going to add more funds to the police, hire more police officers and things like that. I just hope, and this is coming at a very wrong time, seeing as how, remember the Black Lives Matter? The Black Lives Matter movement that happened last year. There was a campaign in Canada as well. Right, there was a campaign about Black Lives Matter in Canada as well, which people came out in troops to, to talk about it. And there's a lot of polls that says that the vast majority of Canadians are against racism, and they acknowledge it as an issue in Canada. But then, is there? There's no way about it.
Well, you are the one who's saying Canadians are the nicest, so you'd know better. Moving on to our next story.
You have to come at me like that.
No, I'm just saying. I mean, why will we not convert Forex in domiciliary account to Naira from CBN? Thank you, CBN. You have done a lot in really frustrating the Forex industry and market for us here.
Wow, that was just
very direct. Honestly, because this is not the first time we're having to deal with issues with the CBN and their Forex. I don't know what I would call it. It is rules and Forex exchange market. But then, of course, let's hear what you have to say about this.
Basically, it was falsely purported on social media that CBN would convert the Forex exchange in domiciliary accounts of customers into Naira. All right, but then they came out in a statement saying that we wish to reiterate that the bank has not contemplated and will never contemplate any such line of action. The speculation is a completely false narrative aimed at triggering panic in the foreign exchange market. Now, if there's a panic in the forex exchange markets that foreign currency will be converted to Naira immediately, it's going to affect the demand-supply curve of the Naira in the forex exchange.
Well, whatever it is, we do hope that they give us proper information and details as regards this, so that we don't just see and hear stories that are not really very factual.
Afghan police returned to work alongside Taliban at the airport. All right. So Afghan police at Kabul airport have returned to work, manning checkpoints alongside Taliban security for the first time since the Islamists seized power.
It's a good development. I mean, for both teams to decide to come together. I hope it doesn't eventually turn into a chaos.
But funny enough, two officers had returned to work Saturday after receiving calls from Taliban commanders. It was actually Taliban commanders.
Two?
No, not just two, like two officers that spoke with the press.
It
was basically the Taliban commanders that, called for the police to come back to work at the airport and, man their checkpoints and all of that. Qatar is expected to help establishing the operation of Kabul Airport so that Kabul Airport can resume its operations. But Fly Emirates has built a sort of bridge at the airports so that they can supply Afghanistan with medical and food supplies. Oh,
wow. That's quite interesting. Of course, we'll go on another break, a quick one, and when we get back, we'll bring you entertainment updates. Stay with us. Back, of course, it's still Hello Africa, and we've brought you stories, our top stories. Moving on now, we're going to our entertainment updates. Of course, BC Pelumi is in the house.
If I didn't talk, you were going to skip that.
No, I wasn't going to skip. I will definitely introduce you.
It's fine.
So, yeah, of course, you can join us via the link in the description. And this one says, you make marriage worthwhile. Mercy Aigbe's ex-husband praised his new wife.
That sounds like, I don't know, it sounds like he purposely said that.
No, it doesn't sound that way. It's the reporter or whoever put down this article that probably did this. But then I'm looking through the story.
But then did he say it?
He didn't say it. He only gave her praises and acknowledged that it was important that she kept praying for him.
So you're
and
saying
she was doing that.
He did not say you make marriage worthwhile.
You probably wouldn't hear him. Even if he said it, it doesn't, he's not pointing it at any direction. He's actually meaning what he's saying.
Looking from where it's coming from.
But he made other very vital statements. So why are you concerned about this one?
Because that's what the story says.
Okay, so, well, he also gave acknowledgement to his newly married wife who turned out to be saying she is very prayerful and she has been a blessing to him ever since they met.
That's was not prayerful, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, you should get married, please, PC.
You should get married as well, favorites.
Of course, this one, a very interesting story says, Pogba joins Pogba.
Of course, it's
joins
going to be an interesting story.
Yeah, it's a very interesting
It's going to be an interesting story.
Yeah, it's going to be. Pogba joins Burna Boy on stage at Park Life Festival, rocks Focus. Focus. That's very interesting, you know. So I for one, I was very excited.
You will be excited, Burna Boy.
BC.
No,
thank you.
Proceed.
I was very excited seeing Burna Boy at the Park Life Festival, and after the victory of my own club as well, it was very interesting that Burna Boy was there to celebrate our victory, and he also watched the match, and he also got some very interestingly customized jerseys. That's very, 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 very amazing and very brilliant. Thank you so much.
Is there like a brand ambassadorship thing going on between Burna Boy and
nothing.
Manchester
He just had, I mean, you know, after a wonderful concert.
Because I know Manu posted his picture with Pogba later on.
An icon just came. That's a Grammy Award winner, bro.
Here we go.
He had to be there. He's an icon, so they needed to pay the
homage.
Homage, yeah, of course.
All right. Actress Iyabo Ojo calls out colleague Funke Akindele after actress Toyin Abraham's new movie was rated low. Wow. Okay, so I think I'm just going to have to pay very keen attention to this. Now, in this industry, I don't know, for me, I feel like if someone actually creates something, a product, before criticism, there should be some form of appreciation to them, because critics come in when it's demanded. Otherwise, keep your opinions to yourself, because publicly coming to criticize people's work, it seems like you are painting every effort they made as junk. Wasted.
Do you understand what I'm saying? But then I'm just going to
what is she calling out Funke Akindele for exactly?
Yeah, so I'm just, that's what I said. So I'm just going to read through. She earlier said she felt Funke Akindele sponsored a post on Instagram that an influencer made, a popular film critic who also goes all out to criticize people's movies and all of that, made a statement which I'm just going to read. It says, after much anticipation, the movie was released in the cinemas on the 10th of September. Osas Igaro, Mr. Johnson featured in this movie. Iyabo Ojo, of course, was also featured in the movie. Yeah, and then the statement he made, on Instagram, a user named Cinema Pointer wrote, "Not recommended for intelligent people." Over the years. Wow. Like really? Wow. Like really, who are the intelligent people? And why would you say a movie wasn't created for intelligent?
Fine, you review movies, but there's a thin line rather between movie review and blind criticism.
Yeah, blind criticism.
It's wrong. You don't call out people's efforts, the amount of capital, the resources, the man hours, the labor went into producing this project. Yeah. You don't just come out and
call them out.
It's not for the intelligent people. It's so wrong.
But then let me read through to the end. And he said, thusly, intelligent minds would not enjoy it at all. Then he also said, regardless of how flagrantly copycats of Omogeto. Now you would see why Funke Akindele is in the story. He said it's flagrantly a copycat of Omogeto, the saga desperately hoping to shine like that of Omogeto. Unlike that one, The Ghost and the Tout, which happens to be the movie created by Toyin Abraham, said doesn't understand the movie making is rooted in brain work and not in using...
I can't hear anymore. I can't take anymore.
But then let me get to the response Iyabo Ojo gave, why people said she came at him. So in her reaction, Ojo said, "How much did Funke pay you to write this rubbish?" She also said, the day she begins to find ways to talk bad about her fellow colleagues or try to discredit their hard work or personality, that's the day she will begin to find peace. Of course, everybody has known Iyabo Ojo to always have a comeback at whoever comes.
Yeah, she's a very outspoken person. Yeah, she's not going to take nonsense.
Yeah, so Toyin's hard work. She also said Toyin's hard work and movie Ghost and the Tout will make box office and your blood is going to dry from hate and jealousy. I said what I said. Messenger of doom.
Yeah, Iyabo Ojo, I understand her plight, coming out, like how much does she know for a fact that Funke Akindele paid this influencer to make the statement? Because if she doesn't know and she made this statement, she's also in the wrong. Two wrongs don't make it right.
Yeah, but then why I'm saying this is because she probably, like she said, I know you and you know me. She also made that statement in her post. And then, of course, let me be very clear with something. Now, if the critic or whoever made this post, the Cinema Pointer was going to make a post, and then he was matching it, at some point, I had to skip some of the the story because he also said he made emphasis on when Omogeto was going to be released at the cinema and said things about Omogeto. Now, the comparison was what made Iyabo Ojo really go in that line of direction, saying, of course, Funke Akindele must have propagated this post. But like I said, I didn't want to mention those so it doesn't seem like publicity. But why would he be giving dates of when Omogeto will be released? And then in the context of trying to make critics, you're comparing this movie with that of...
I mean, it's fine to compare both movies, but you compare it based on the project
itself.
The similarities, not the cast, the story, what the writer was writing about. You just walk around the project itself. But when you now compare efforts of people, that's an insult.
He categorically said it's copycat. Okay,
this other entertainment story is actually interesting. Bovi puts his son for sale after he broke the third TV in a year.
I won't just sell you. I'll probably go hang you in a museum. They should come and see you. The first child to create this kind. In a year, how could you have... These TVs are expensive. Did you see that TV? I saw it. How many
quarters are in a year? Like 4 quarters, right?
4 quarters.
So that's like one for each quarter.
Okay, wow. But please, if you have kids at home, train them in a way that they should understand where they extend their play to. Especially children listen sometimes. They listen. But you need to make them understand that their play zone is streamlined to a certain
area.
You don't get to electrical appliances and then...
Don't get to the TV. I can understand movies. In this economy, you're buying TV.
Yeah, but who are you selling this child to now? So you will go there and...
We'll go and destroy their own TV as well.
Continue there. Okay, this one says, Fowles Bags Artist of the Year Award from Leadership Newspaper Award. Congratulations, Fowles. On this one, big congrats to you. Moving on to our BB Niger update. Shine your eye, people.
All right, so the first one says, you can't replace my love for Maria, Perret tells Angel. You know, after, what's his name? This guy who was evicted yesterday, J. Paul.
Yeah.
After J. Paul got evicted, I saw Angel having a conversation with Yusuf.
Okay, Yusuf, yeah.
And the conversation was driving towards the I have feelings for you kind of conversation.
Just now?
Just now. How many?
How can you break the bro code, man?
No, it's not even Yusuf who was instigating this whole thing. It was Angel.
My goodness.
Yusuf, from the conversation I just saw like a few seconds of the conversation. From the conversation, Yusuf was on the receiving end, but was sort of defensive.
Okay.
Like, okay, I understand you, I understand where you're coming from, I understand your vibe, but
I thought Yusuf was okay.
I don't understand Angel's game
plan
at
Angel
all.
is a game, like we usually say.
Stay one place.
Okay, so wow, this story says Perret lonely tries to trigger you. Saga tells Nini.
This Saga and his mouth.
Now wow.
Saga and his mouth.
Why would they make Perret look like he's
desperate?
He's desperate for attention or something. Desperate lover boy. Can imagine.
I mean, that's what Angel told Yusuf. She said she's just looking for companionship now. That the house is getting lonely and the game is getting intense.
Okay. Moving on. This one says Queen reveals how white money stopped her from getting intimate on Friday night.
Did you see how
close up?
How much? It's Monday.
Okay, the way you're emphasizing.
It's Monday.
Relax.
It's Monday.
But then I'm very excited with the way white money handles this whole affair thing in the house, because he's really holding up. This is not the first time she's coming on him for certain kinds of sexual. I don't know, because
it's Monday.
Yeah, because he's all about this money. That is what my mind is at right now.
You mean white money?
Of course.
Yes. No, I mean you can't come and
jeopardize
90 million naira.
Distracting.
Auntie, stay in your lane. Calm down.
Calming down.
Calming down. Stop matching.
But then the duo have a very wonderful relationship that I really enjoy. The friendship is really, and I like the one thing about Queen is she's always out to tell him, this is what I don't like. She told him clearly when she saw him having a thing with one other girl in the house that I can't remember. She came out straight and said, if you are going to be my friend, be my friend. If you are going to share my friendship with someone else, I don't know how to
involve me.
All right. Well,
this one looks a little bit serious. Boma says, my team members hospitalized after death threats over my bond with Tega.
Are you sure we're having the same story? Okay.
Oh, okay. I think it's like, sorry, I couldn't stand Ebuka during his season, right?
His wife. Yeah, he did some very impossible things, right? I'm sure. Of course, like we are seeing with Tega and her husband right now. But then Ebuka didn't get as worse as that. But at least the marriage still stayed till now. So
wait, are we saying Ebuka?
Well, Ebuka must have done some really interesting things. Didn't you hear? The wife said, I couldn't stand Ebuka during his season. Well, if they were dating at the time or they were already married at the time, whatever the situation was, she's trying to make you understand that he was also a very sharp guy in his time. Okay. Well, that is it with our stories for Big Brother updates. We're going to take a break quickly. And when we get back, of course, I'll leave you with BC Pelumi for the sport update. Stay with us.
From the world of sports, and also introduce you to our topic for the day, and then we'll link up with our weird facts. All right, so our first story. Ronaldo Pogba flash Man United title hopes in defeat of Newcastle. This new guy might be good. Cristiano Ronaldo scored twice and Paul Pogba had 2 assists as Manchester United gailed more as the match wore on to beat Newcastle United 4-1 at Old Trafford on Saturday. Ronaldo's first goal was answered by Javier Marquillo's goal just after halftime, but the returning hero scored a better goal and Pogba set up Bruno Fernandes and Jesse Lingard for markers late in the win. Manchester United goes atop the table 1 point better than Man City. Brighton and Tottenham, Chelsea, Liverpool and Everton can also hit Man United's 10 points by week's end. And here's the table of the Premiership standing. Manchester United with 10 points, having played 4 matches and won 3. Chelsea 2nd, Liverpool 3rd, Man City 4th, Brighton 5th, Tottenham 6th, West Ham 7th, Everton 8th, Leicester City 9 and Brentford 10 with 5 points having played 4 matches. Nigeria makes impact in track cycling championship. Nigeria is doing well at the ongoing 2021 Tissot International Cycling Union (UCI) Championship in Cali, Colombia. Masari, the chairman of the caretaker committee of the Cycling Federation of Nigeria (CFN), Masari Giandomenico, disclosed that Nigeria was being represented in the competition by 4 female riders: Tawakalitu Yekin, Mary Samuel, Grace Ayuba, and Ese. According to him, even although Nigeria started participating in the sport since 2018, it is better than some other teams with decades of experience. He said Nigeria's initial target was to qualify to participate in the Colombia tournament, and that is achieved. Basketball Hall of Fame 2021 ceremony recap, speech highlights, and reaction. On Saturday, former NBA stars Chris Bosh, Paul Pierce, Ben Wallace, and Chris Webber headlined the class of 2021 enshrined in the Basketball Hall of Fame. They were joined by international selection Tony Koch, coaches Rick Adelman, Jay Wright, and Bill Russell, already in as a player, and former WNBA stars Lauren Jackson, Yolanda Griffith, among other inductees. Webber, a 5-time All-Star and the best player on the Fab 5 Michigan team that influenced the greater culture with their style of play and swagger on the court, was the first to give a speech. Kukoc, who was inducted for both his accomplishments as an NBA player and for his career overseas before coming to the United States, was accompanied to the States by his former teammate and Hall of Famer Michael Jordan. 4-time Defensive Player of the Year Wallace spoke about legacies in his speech, both on and off the court. And in the world of boxing, Holyfield, Hayes, Silva, and Trump feature at Thriller Fight Club. 2 former world heavyweight boxing champions come out of retirement, 2 former UFC champions facing off in the ring, and ringside commentary from former US President Donald J. Trump. This was the spectacle provided for fight fans at Thriller Fight Club at the Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino in Florida. Top of the bill was 58-year-old former world champion Evander Holyfield returning to the ring for the first time in a decade. But it was short-lived return for the man who beat Mike Tyson twice in his heyday, albeit one of the victories is best remembered for his opponent's ear biting. He suffered a first-round technical knockout at the hands of former UFC fighter Vitor Belfort after taking a flurry of punches which sent him first through the ropes, then to the canvas before the referee stepped in. And lastly, Champions League, Chelsea's Mendy shifts focus to FC Zenit after Aston Villa win. After helping the Blues beat the Lions, the Senegal international is looking forward to Tuesday's match against Sergei Semak's men. Edouard Mendy has now turned his attention to Tuesday's Champions League encounter with FC Zenit St. Petersburg. The Senegal international, who was signed from Rennes, was one of the Blues' heroes as they defeated Aston Villa 3-0 at Stamford Bridge in Saturday's Premier League encounter. Sorry about that. Against Dean Smith's men. It's really interesting, actually. The 29-year-old kept a clean sheet as Romelu Lukaku's brace and Mateo Kovacic's strike saw Thomas Tuchel's men through. Following this result, they will now square off against the Russian Premier League giants as they commence their European title. Sorry about that. Their European title defense. Well, apparently he doesn't want to stay in Chelsea. And that's a wrap on our sports update. Stay with us as we bring you our hot topic for the day.
Welcome back. Of course, it's still Hello Africa, brought to you by Black Drum TV. My name is Favor Aya. I like to be called Favorite. Of course, thank you so much, BC, for the sport update, an interesting sport update that ended very interesting. I don't know, very, very funny for BC. How you doing, BC?
I'm doing good.
Are you okay now?
I am okay. I'm very okay.
All right. So I would like to ask you to join us via the link in the description, just in case you want to be part of our conversation this morning. We already had our top stories, our BB Niger update, entertainment news, and sport update brought to you by BC. Now we'll move on to our topic for today, which happens to be a very interesting topic and very enlightening one at that. For those of you who have to or who work in a very
corporate environment,
these are very, very vital points for you to consider. Well, the topic is the importance of work ethics.
Basically, workspace ethics, but we're looking at the importance of workspace.
Of proper etiquette in your workspace. And of course, we're just going to define the terms and of course go through some very vital points and vital steps to consider when in a workspace. We do hope, in a work environment, we do hope you'll be able to join in and take some very key notes in the discussion proper.
Yeah, so before we go into the points, I'd like us to talk about why workspace ethics is actually very important. Because you know, if one of our topics that we touched teamwork.
Yes.
All right, and we discussed how teamwork is a very productive and profitable system amongst workers. You understand how they can. I think I likened it onto the events sector. How you can use it, you know, to achieve better results and, you know, meet your targets. So in a workspace environment now, you know, you'll be working with other people. So it's important to know how best to work with them. How best to put, what character, what attitude to put up in a working environment.
But first of all, I think we should be able to define ethics for them. Now, what are ethics? Of course, ethics are moral principles that help, I don't know, moral disciplinary lineups that help people work properly in a line space or in a behavior. If you have proper ethics, for ethics it means like you have principles guiding your behavior. Yeah. So bringing it into workspace is more like having the right behavior and principles
to guide your work behavior.
To guide your workspace.
Because your behavior in your workspace is going to be different from your behavior at home or in your place of worship.
Your friends and all of that. Exactly. So if you do not have good ethics in your workspace, you probably would bridge in work. You might not be as productive as you would be if you paid proper ethics and attention to work. So having defined this, I think we should be able to also look into what you said about knowing how proper work etiquette.
In a work environment, Okay, so the first one here says politeness. Well, in general, the community should indeed become we are designed to be social beings anyways.
Of course, different people from different.
And even if you work alone, at some point, you will have to work in the same social space or in the same workspace as other people. Yes. So it's important that you are polite. You know, fine, you are the head of a department, or probably it's even your startup, it's your company. Yeah. You don't just go around barking out orders or dishing out. You know, you put in polite words. Okay. Kindly do this. Thank you, please. Thank you, and you're welcome. Gestures, words like that are very, very important, and they go a long way to motivate your co-workers or your staff to help you achieve the objectives you set before them.
Objectives. Okay, being in that same line, politeness would also, this other point says friendly, be friendly. Now, in a workspace, it's often more productive when the colleagues are friendly. Now, if you had someone in your workspace and you probably have issues with them, or you have reasons to fight, you have reasons to be in a misunderstanding with them, it just bridges the productivity. Yeah. I think it's better for both parties or for all parties in that workspace to be friendly, ask questions, know what's going on with your colleague. It helps them be able to ease some of the stress,
and there won't be enmity between co-workers, because when enmity comes in, it's going to be difficult to work alongside another person to achieve the same results. You always find something wrong with whatever strategy or idea that the other person comes up with. All right, so the next one says respect for co-workers. You know, a lot of times in workspaces, a lot of things are going on simultaneously. Use of office utilities, working with other people's project or soft copies of, some kind of works and all of that. So when you're using your co-workers' utilities, be kind of how, be kind how you ask them for it. Appreciate them when they give you part of their time that they should use to work on their own projects.
I think I want to also truly, let me give you an example. Okay, so there was this one time, I was working somewhere and my boss at the time, he used to have this PA. Okay. You know how you have it?
He or is she?
Is she as his PA.
Okay.
Now, my boss at that time was, it's an oil company. So,
another company.
Relax and let me talk. Now, why I'm bringing this example to you is, okay, let me just finish. Now, at the time, my boss used to do something. He would come to work with his food pack, like his wife would pack food for him. And then he plays long tennis. Oh. So we used to go to court together. So he comes with his long tennis rack as well. He was in a workspace? Yeah, in a workspace. He comes with it in his car. Like in his car trunk, he would have it. But in the workspace, we had our tennis courts. The office had all this. That's one of the things you get in a good workspace as well. I'm just letting you know. I don't know. But then, of course, what am I trying to say? So, whenever he comes to work, his PA should be able to take his things up to the office, to his office. Yeah. But then, there was this day he came and he just came with his food rack. He didn't come with so many things. So, as usual, he would, because the things are so many, he would have his PA and then carry some of the things, and then the security man, who happened to be an old man, would also help carry out. So this day he came with his food, just his food rack. And then as he was about to go up, he asked his PA to quickly help with some of the things while he carried his briefcase. The PA now called on the security guy to pick up the food pack. When he noticed it, he was forced to, he pulled back and he was like, excuse me, you can carry that. Things are not so much today. Do you understand?
Like, don't do that.
So she,
power play or some kind of
authority. Somehow she put up a smirk on her face, like looking like this wasn't, that the security guy had to carry the security
post. He was only assisting when.
Do you understand? So my point is, why was she expecting him to carry? When my boss went up, he warned her about it. He was like, don't do that. He's not in a position to carry my bag. You are in that position. So for today, even as he was just helping you, prior times he used to help you. But at this point, it's not like the things were too much. You were in a position to just carry it
and let the man be. Why did you have to drag him in again?
So when your co-workers, the way you treat them would determine how productive you and them, even the relationship between you and them, you would see it when, I don't think that man would have looked at her and said, oh, wow, okay. Some people might just do it and not have anything. But then you should be able to make them feel like, okay, you can do this. You are responsible for it. There's no need to always.
100%. So the other one says maintain cleanliness. I don't know how you want to go to your workspace looking untidy.
Not just kept. You looking untidy.
Then your work environment, your workstation at your workspace, try and keep it arranged, organized, properly. You don't need to go all out and start labeling everything. Okay, this way you do, but at least make sure where your desktop is clear. So that, and I was reading a book on time management, and one of the things there is that make sure your workstation is properly arranged and organized, because it saves you a lot of time. When it's too much crowded with so many projects, so many paperwork, so many devices, the time you'll spend in looking for a sticky note or a business card, you could have diverted that much time into other important, productive part of your objectives. Okay. But instead of leaving everything lying around, just
sorry to cut you, but it's fine. I also think that as regards cleanliness, I think it's only proper for every person in a workspace like this to have a trash can by their side. Right? Very small. There's this mini trash can
black basket.
There's this one that could very small, compatible to a table. There's a trash that is very compatible to like a square table or whatever table you're sitting on. You can just have that small trash by your side. So your maybe sweet chocolate packs and all of that can just go straight into the trash if you probably eat
and if
something.
you need, you can even take it up with your company and tell them to get it for staff. So it just saves a lot.
It saves a lot.
So whenever it's clean, we just come and empty the trash bin and then
the trash. Exactly. All
right. So the last one for today says maintain calm. Basically, do not jump the gun. Always maintain a level head. In your workspace. Don't be the hot head.
The loud one.
The loud one.
You're too loud. You want to always you want to always express yourself in your tone. We have a lot of, anyway, no, I won't say. But then we have lots of people like that who feel like, especially in media workspaces.
Especially in conversations. Yeah, you hear people going, you're raising your voice at me, and then the next reply is, I'm not raising my voice, that's how I talk.
They always say that's how they talk. That's not how you talk.
You are agitated, and it's reflecting in the tone of your voice.
I think even if that's how you talk, because you're in a workspace, you should be able to
at least try, or rather go somewhere else.
You guys should see BC off the screen. But then he understands workspace, and so he's compatible. He's very, very disciplined. So that's a very practical example I'm giving them right now. You can see, his expressions, you see how much he's trying to hold back everything he wants to burst open right now. Wow. That's how he is. But imagine we're not in your faces. Just imagine. Wow.
I'm a very calm and collected person. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. That's that with our topic. We do hope you were able to jot down some very vital points from this. Nevertheless, we'll move on to the most interesting part of our show today, and it's also a very enlightening part of the show, which, of course, is very knowledgeable if you pay proper attention.
Weird facts.
Yeah, weird facts. You see how this is very, very excited about this.
Yeah, I'm excited about the weird facts. Should I take the first one, or you did your honors?
No, you should.
All right, so this is our first weird fact for today. There is a company that turns dead bodies into, and wait, what now?
An ocean reef? Like
actual dead bodies.
So
if I'm going underwater,
you go diving, you would see dead bodies down, all the way down there.
Yeah, but even this image doesn't look like. Is it like water? Are they matching? Did
they grind the body and form?
I do not even want to imagine what they did to create this shape. It's a weird fact.
It's weird.
It's weird. 100% weird. Weird of the month. Weird of the year. Weird of the century.
It's really weird. Okay, this one says a human could swim through a blue whale's veins. Wow. These arteries are so big that a fully grown human could swim through them. Not that you should try it, of course.
How do you want to try it?
You can't even advise us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Whether you advise us or not,
we are good. We're not trying it, but we know about it now. Thank you very much.
But this is
in case we miraculously find ourselves there.
It looks really big.
It's real big. It's huge.
Okay, the whale is the largest mammal in existence, so of course it's expected that you could swim through the veins. Okay, this one says sleeping in a cold room can help you slim down.
That explains Favorite's body physique.
BC, yep. Please, can you leave my physique out of this discussion right now?
Yeah, but you are slim, and you sleep a lot.
Can you see the lady in the picture? See, even her face is looking like, what kind of weird...
What fact is this? Like, you guys should let me sleep.
Please just let me have my sleep, thank you.
You can breathe and swallow simultaneously. Oh, sorry, you can't. Apologies. I was about to question, like, what? You can't breathe and swallow simultaneously. Of course, we know that.
Yeah, I just tried it. Try and swallow your spit, and you see, you probably won't be able to.
If you're eating jollof rice, do not try it. It's not a nice combo.
You choke. Okay, the color you see in pitch darkness has a name. The color you see is called Eugene Grau, whatever, which means intrinsic gray. It's the shade of dark gray people see when there is no light.
If there's no light, is it not black we'll see?
Try it. Oh,
I'm seeing red.
Do you understand the hair?
This is red.
Sometimes I see red, but I think
red and a flash and a touch of blue and green.
But then, of course, when there's light,
that's light. That's the effect of light.
The effect of light.
If there's no light,
color.
This is black. There's nothing gray.
Thank you. It's okay. You can get your hands off the screen now. We understand. Off your face now. We understand. You probably won't see the right color.
Why won't I see the right color? You will not see the right color. Let me just read through this one. Craving ice is a symptom of iron deficiency. If you like crunching ice after you finish your soda, you might be suffering from anemia, also known as
pagophagia.
Pagophagia, okay. Okay.
So craving ice is a symptom of iron deficiency. Wow. BC should...
No, I know someone.
Yeah, of course. People who...
I know someone.
This one says, and microscopic mites live on your face. Don't freak out, but your face is crawling with 8-legged
Spider-like creatures.
Spider-like.
I'm pretty sure if my face was crawling with 8 legs, spider-like creatures, I can tell.
Is this a face that this thing is on right now?
I think that's yours. That's just beneath your beards, like just above your beards on your cheekbone. You see that, my dear? They live right here. That's where they live. They live in your beards.
They said 8 legs.
8 legs.
And how do you not feel it? How small, how tiny are they?
Microscopic means you can't pick them with your eyes.
You can't even see them with your eyes. But then, so every time I do this, I've killed so many of them, right?
Yeah, but you that have beards, I'm pretty sure like they have colonies, living in there, and they come out once in a while.
We'll talk about this after the show.
I'm not talking about this after the show.
The size of your social circle is related to the size of your brain.
Wait, what?
The size of your social circle. So the more...
Wait first.
Let's agree.
Let's read it through.
A scientist at Oxford discovered that the size of a person's medial prefrontal cortex. The part of the brain that identifies other people's mood and personalities can predict the size of a person's social circle. The average prefrontal cortex averages out to around 147.8 friends in a social network. Thank God I have...
Wait. On the average, you are supposed to have 147.8 friends?
In your circle.
In your circle.
It depends on your brain capacity now. So by the time you show me, you say, I don't have friends. Now we'll know that.
Does WhatsApp contact count?
Now, let me tell you something. How many friends do you have?
We'll get to that.
Just tell us how many friends you have. Let's know how your brain works.
A handful?
A handful?
2 hands full?
No.
Okay, let's do hands and feet.
I have a bucket of friends. That's why I'm a very smart person. I mean...
Yeah, you're a very smart person, but it doesn't show. That's good.
No, you're not trying to be sarcastic.
No, I'm not trying to be sarcastic.
Okay, this one says, blue cheese can change your dreams.
Having strange dreams, it's time to skip the blue cheese on your salad. According to research from the British cheese... There's a cheese board.
There's a board for cheese.
There's a board for cheese. Eating blue cheese, okay, please.
Is particularly associated with vivid dreams. It's a good thing I don't like cheese. I'm very allergic to cheese.
It's a good thing. It's not part of our diet here in Nigeria. I don't even know what it tastes like.
It is, but you speak for yourself, bro. Don't say it's not a part of our diet, but just say you do not eat cheese. Cheese is in almost every pizza or... well, you won't understand. Moving on.
You had to bring pizza in.
IE and EG are not the same thing as IE. Are not the same thing. Okay. IE is that, okay, now they're educating us. This is education, not word.
You see how his brain just lost
No, I didn't lose focus.
Like his brain just snapped. Oh
my God, this is something
smart. We can't handle this.
No, relax.
Leave it for this man. Let me take it from you.
Okay, take it from me.
IE is an abbreviation for IEDEST. That's supposed to be third person singular for French verb conjugation, but I don't know how they're not spelling it.
Yeah, of course you don't know. Yeah.
Which means that is il is supposed to be ILS then EST. That's how French.
You're speaking Yoruba now.
No, that's French.
No.
That's je suis, tu es, il est, nous sommes, vous êtes, nous savons, vous
What
avez.
you said was it est.
That's what I'm saying. It's not the right spelling. It's supposed to be ILS then space EST.
Thank you.
Which means that is.
Professor in English, could you continue?
But you can remember what it means with the phrase in essence.
Okay. EG, on the other hand, stands for exempli gratia, which means for the sake of example, but can easily be remembered as example given.
For example.
Or for example.
That's how we do it here. For example. EG.
For example, yeah. Women have more pain receptors than men. They also have a higher tolerance for pain than men do, according to time. Of course,
I'm not arguing. Have you grown a child for 9 months and pushed it out of you?
Yeah.
I'm not arguing.
Women
Shout
have,
out to women.
I mean, with all the monthly thing.
Nope. And then with the monthly, oh my Jesus.
We're not
arguing.
We're not arguing.
We're not challenging people.
It's not weird.
The crown is yours.
Yes. Oh, well, that's it for our
weird facts.
Our weird facts today.
And it's been an interesting episode on the show today. I had a wonderful time, going through our top stories. Thank you for joining us on today's episode. See you all in the next episode. And remember, please stay safe, wear a nose mask. If you're not yet vaccinated, go get your vaccine.
Yeah. I thought you were going to tell them your name.
Oh yeah, my name is BC, by the way.
Okay, well, thank you for being on the show. Like BC said, and then of course I want to throw more light on this. This is a fresh week. We do hope you have a productive week ahead, and of course I hope that you're able to meet your target and your dreams in your workspace. Thank you for joining us. We hope that in the next episode you'll also be on the show. My name is Favor, but I like to be called Favorite. Have a lovely day.